Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is still the 13th of June. My name is Horace, and I'm just going through more reflections. Before I do, just about maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours ago, near where I work, lunchtime, there was a stabbing. Croydon Advertiser are alleging there was a stabbing outside near the Barclays Bank area. I went down when the police cordoned the area off, and I put the video on YouTube. Obviously this podcast is on Anchor FM live, but I won't get to put this one on YouTube. It'll be after, so the video will already be on YouTube, and then these videos that I've made today will be after that. So it won't be after this one, it'll be before this one on YouTube. YouTube is John Doyle Poems. It just goes to show you, apparently that Croydon Advertiser is saying there was a vagrant, a tramp, I don't know, what is the polite way of a person without a home, poor person, who it looks like he was stabbed, probably because he was asking for money or something. Oh, how bad of him to ask for money that you have to stab him. But apparently Croydon is one of the, I just saw on Croydon Advertiser, is very high knife stabbing things. Don't tell Donald Trump though, because he'll make out it's a war zone. Anyway, I shouldn't be laughing about it. It's a serious matter, and someone's been rushed to hospital. He was stabbed in the back of the head, according to Croydon Advertiser. Yeah, so it's bad to think that somebody in that kind of situation is put into a situation they probably didn't expect to be in. And it just goes to show you how we don't, as a society, help out those people. And yeah, okay, we don't all go around stabbing people, but what I mean is in the sense of society, as in that man who doesn't have a house, who begs for money, has to do that, has to beg for money. That we live in a society where it's about what you get, and if you get money then you can get other things, otherwise get out. Anyway, the other thing I was thinking about, reflections since I've grown from 0 to 43. Obviously one of the biggest things that's changed is technology. Some good aspects of it, some bad. Obviously that leads us into Article 13, which is, I know Sheeps and Neeps has covered this, and Jamie Brown as well, and I think Beyond the Imaginary Curve, about changing the laws to, I think it will, well they're saying it will affect fair use. So there is I'm sure there's more than one, website that has a way that you can write a letter to your local EMP, European Member of Parliament, and tell them that you don't want this to happen and they should vote against it. I think it's on the 20th or 21st of June. But it looks like it's going to clamp down a bit on censorship. I don't know, it doesn't seem workable to me how this would be possible, but what has been described is that it will be looking for copyrighted material. I guess this is to stop torrents and illegal film downloads, and stuff like that. Oh, how bad are people to illegally download things? When did we start bottling our creativity? Isn't the whole point of making things that we can show each other? No, you've got to make money out of it first. These gifts that we're given to be creative, that we want to charge for. Anyway, that's another whole topic, isn't it? But yeah, so look out for that. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. It depends. There are some things where, yeah, okay. I suppose the thing is, if you're going to charge people for stuff they do on the internet, then you've got to police it as well. Otherwise, you're the reason why they're getting charged. There's lots of stuff on the internet that shouldn't be on there, that's allowed on there, because it was started as a free platform. Well, whose fault was that? You know, you control the TV, you control the newspapers, you control most mediums, and you say what can and can't be put on there. Why are you allowing everything to be put on the internet so that anyone who has a phone can see whatever's on, whatever they want to see, or do whatever they want to do, whether it comes to terrorism, whether it comes to porn, whether it comes to child exploitation, all of those things. Who's allowing it to happen? Yeah, the people who run the internet, the people who, well, the government can say what you can and can't do, isn't it, surely? How did they not have that power? Maybe they never realised the internet would grow to this way, that it would take over from TV and newspapers and things. Anyway, so this may be their idea of clamping down on that. It depends how it's used. If it's used for things like illegal films, although I don't agree upon it, I can understand why they would want to do that. But if it's to cut down on people's free speech, fair use and things, where, like even me, I'm making this podcast and I'll often record little snippets of Sky News. I don't think that's a major thing. It's meant to be giving out news. If anything, I'm helping them give out that news, and then I'm giving my view upon it. I don't think I should be stopped from doing that. So if they do things like that, George Orwell, 1984 type stuff, Orwellian type stuff, I should say, then yeah, obviously that's a bad thing. The only thing is like Brexit, you won't find out until after it's signed, and you see how they deal with it. Which is probably why a lot of people want to just go ahead and just stop them from doing it, because it can only lead to them having more powers to be able to stop us from having free thoughts. God, if they ever get a way of stopping us doing that, I'm sure they will. One day they'll find out a way of teaching us information through, I was going to say through putting a microchip in the brain, but it's probably going to be much more subtle than that. It's probably going to be some kind of Wi-Fi signal that can talk from your device to your brain waves and actually educate you in seconds. I mean, that is wonderful in some ways. Well, I suppose not really, because as a baby, you wouldn't want to have all that education as a baby. What would they do? Leave you thick until like 13 and then educate you in a second, and then everything. But the problem is with that is, of course, they can put whatever they want into your brain and then do whatever they want. But I'm sure that's got to be something that will come eventually, and it will be advertised as, you'll be able to get education, you'll be able to learn everything you won't need to do exams or anything, because you'll know everything. You'll be like a computer, but a human and more advanced. And they'll sell it like that, and everyone will think, wow, that's brilliant. It is a brilliant thing, isn't it? It sounds like a brilliant thing, but the negative side of that is well, no more free thoughts, even less than we have at the moment. Where all my thoughts come from, I've already expressed. I think I wrote a poem about that, isn't it? Who Wrote My Mind? I must read out some of these. Actually, this is how I'm going to end this one, actually, because I wrote a poem. It's actually thinking about all this, and I was on Poncho Pete's, and they were talking about petrified fossils and things, and it's quite interesting. The only thing is, I was going to say, is with the petrified fossils, when you look at them and they say, oh, that's like an elephant, and it does look like it, but the thing is, my brain sort of suddenly already was saying, like, no, that's not it. They're just. It's funny how our brains are wired that way, that we will scoff at something. I've got no way of knowing which is true, which is not. Someone's presenting with it, because they're presenting with something that seems outlandish. It's funny how my instant reaction is not to believe, to laugh at it, rather than actually take it seriously. And that's why it's very difficult when it comes to conspiracies, false flag, flat earth, paradigm shift, whatever you want to call it. Truth-seeking, because that's how we're wired. We're wired to question everything in a negative way when we're presented with something that doesn't seem quite right. And it's strange how, I don't know whether these rocks are petrified animals, huge, great, giant animals that have been petrified. Well, who knows, really? That's what I really should be saying. I should know, well, I don't know, isn't it? Why should I believe what I've been told? Because it seems like a science fiction, seems like a fantasy. Doesn't mean it's not true, is it? But it's interesting how our minds do that. Anyway, so then I came up with this. It's called We Are Just Shaved Cavemen in a Suit. Shaven, sorry. We are just shaven cavemen in a suit, pretending to be something we are not, inventing words to describe a way that we don't. That we do not really know. Living our lives with an air of assumption, believing to be civilized and intelligent, never to be challenged or reversed, follow, repeat, do. We are just shaven cavemen in a suit, always repeating the same mistakes. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.